It's not my fault they don't have a broadcast team. Back here at Hyde Stadium at long last, trying to catch our breath as the lightning and the rain has moved out of the area. We hope for the evening. Man, it was looking grim, and we didn't know if we were going to be able to play this game here tonight. I'm out of breath trying to run back up after talking to Richard Gilmore, making sure that we got the go-ahead to go ahead and play, but we're back here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Welcome back to Hyde Stadium. Alongside Dylan Beach, I'm Justin Cowart. Eli Lewis up at the broadcast booth with us. And Dylan, we didn't know if we were going to be able to play, but here we are. And we are ready to go. It is a tie ball game, 1-1 here in the bottom of the fourth. And things are working for the Zap. They've got Quinn Ludvigsen on first base. Gavin Frazier coming up to bat with one out. And Dylan, you didn't just have to run up the stairs. So
yeah, I'll take it away. Yeah.
Catch my breath.
I was about to say, Justin, let me ease your pain there for a little bit. But an unbelievably good job by this grounds crew to get us back ready to play. It's a ragtag group of players led by Aiden Johnson, and they did one great job because I didn't think we were going to play tonight. I thought this game was going to be done and dusted for another day, but a great job to the grounds crew. We got a new pitcher on the mound for the Spuds. It's Ty Vollmer. But let me recap you that little bit of action we had in the bottom of the fourth before we went away. Quinn Ludvigsen reached on a walk. He will be on first base when we resume. Gavin Frazier will be at the plate ahead in the count 2-0. And Gavin Frazier, it feels like every time we go to rain delay, Justin, Gavin Frazier's at the plate.
Yeah, sometimes when there's bad weather coming, maybe we talk to Jamie Habger and say, can you make one minor lineup adjustment, move Gavin Frazier around a little bit. But at long last, after over an hour and about 20 minutes of a delay, we are getting set to get back in action here. And a friendly face, a familiar face, and a happy sight for the Oahe Zap. They got to see Nick Golden come back to the stadium. He's wearing a little bit of a shiner right there on the nose, but he is back and got cleared. Not to play, he's in the road clothes, but great to see him back after wearing a pitch off the face of the starter, Lawson Moreno. That had the Zap pretty fired up, even had the Spuds coach pretty fired up as there was a heated conversation between the Spuds coach and Moreno in their dugout. We don't speculate up here, but the way that these things have gone this series, Will Ianconi, the head coach for the Spuds, was kind of probably telling his pitcher, look, if you're going to throw and try to move him off the plate, you don't do it towards the head. You do it towards the back or the lower body. And Moreno was trying to plead his case, but when you hit a guy in the face like that, I think the best option is just to listen to your head coach, nod, say yes, sir, and move on to the next batter. Moreno is out of the game, as is Wyatt Gladue. It'll be Ty Vollmer who will step in and face off with Gavin Frazier as we are back. Vollmer comes set with a runner on first, one out, and we are underway as Frazier takes a ball off the plate to start. And it is a 3-0 count. As there are still a few true die-hard Zap fans as the 3-0 catches a piece of the zone for strike one. Still in attendance.
That's what we like to call some Zapaholics right there.
That is a Zapaholic indeed. I think we can consider ourselves Zapaholics. Here's the 3-1 to Frazier. That's in there for strike number two. And Ty Vollmer has worked the count full. Frazier with a couple taps of the plate. Man, things got grim here earlier. We'll recap all of that for you. As Frazier works a walk from Ty Vollmer. Vollmer inherited a 2-0 count. So a tough little situation to come into, but as we still see some lightning way off in the distance, it is pretty nice here back at the stadium. When the storm came through, it was a lightning delay that initially delayed things for the Zap and the Spuds. And we had a lightning delay earlier this season, about 2 weeks ago, as Mason Lang comes in with runners on first and second. It was short-lived as he fouls that one off into the netting behind home plate. That lightning delay was short-lived, and when we went back to action, we were kind of laughing because it didn't look any better that night from when the delay started to when it ended, but obviously the Lightning was far enough away that we could restart the game. Tonight was a lot different, though. Here's the 1-0 to Lang, as that one is in there for strike one. But tonight we had the lightning delay. It was looking grim like it was the other night, and about 20 minutes or so into that delay is when the skies opened up. Vollmer taking a peek back at Ludvigsen, who's dancing off of second. Lang fouls that one up high into the night sky. But the rains came through, and we often talk about this gorgeous backdrop of rolling hills across the river over in Fort Pierre. And the rain started to fall somewhat substantially. It wasn't a downpour, but then off in the distance as the rain here stopped, we started to see those hills disappear. As Lang is behind 1-2, the pitch from Vollmer, an off-speed pitch, rifled into center field, oncoming, and a drop down for a base hit. Ludvigsen was running the whole way. He rounds third, he heads for home, and a huge RBI single for Mason Lang gives the Zap the 2-1 lead. Trent Rucker was playing deep out in center. He couldn't get to that one in time. Some great base running from Quinn Ludvigsen. Scores the game's third run, the second for the Zap. They lead 2-1. And fresh off the bench, Mason Lang coming out of the delay, keeping the bat hot. And there's still only one out for Emiliano Curiel. And Vollmer just left that right over the middle of the plate for Mason Lang to clobber it into center field. And a great piece of hitting for the Zap catcher.
These guys are fired up.
I think they were fired up when they saw Nick Golden make his way back to the dugout. Here's the first pitch to Curiel in there for strike one.
And the whole rain delay, the guys were saying, stay ready, stay ready. We are playing this game tonight. They knew from the beginning. They had faith. They stayed ready, and it's showing right here.
Here's the 0-1 to Curiel. He fouls that one off to the right side, quickly 0-2. And there were some Spuds fans who were wondering, they were not wanting this game to continue tonight. And I couldn't really figure out why. You don't want your team to have to travel all the way back to Casper or wherever you're going next on the road, which is Spearfish, I believe. You don't want to have to make them make the trip back to Pierre. You're here. Might as well finish this game tonight, so good thing for the Spuds. See, 0-2 misses high for ball one. I think it was in such a crucially important game for the playoff scenario, the playoff seeding. It would have been a bear of a trip for Casper to have to come all the way back out to Pierre. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed for strike three. So Curiel goes down swinging. That'll bring up Tyler Hoffman with 2 outs and runners on first and second.
Lineup turning over here for Hoffman.
And with the rain delay, the lightning, the tornado warning, all of that, I completely stole the bottom of the fourth from Dylan Beach. So I apologize, Dylan. Let me turn it over back to my partner in crime.
Lang on first, Frazier on second. Tyler Hoffman now at the plate. 2 outs away. That one heads foul over the press box. A big breeze blowing in that beautiful red, white, and blue stars and stripe flag out in center field.
And the one we've got here in the broadcast booth.
We always come prepared.
You never know when you might be called on to sing the anthem.
Tyler Hoffman swings through that one for strike two. Mason Lang giving the Zap the lead here in the bottom of the fourth. Feels like we have been at Hyatt Stadium for a long time today.
We've been here longer.
We have. And sun's been setting a bit earlier, but there have been nights where the sun hadn't even set yet in Pierce. Frazier goes. Hoffman lines that one back the other way. Foul. Just a bit behind on that one. Gavin Frazier and Mason Lang were off in motion. That one could have scored 2 if that one managed to stray down the line.
Yeah, good swing there from Tyler Hoffman on an 0-2 count, trying to protect the plate. Almost snuck one in down into that right field corner.
The 0-2 now to Tyler Hoffman. Frazier bouncing around a little bit at second. That one gets behind Frazier, and Lang will advance. So now runners in scoring position for Tyler Hoffman, and what could be a very crucial at-bat. A base hit could blow things wide open here in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, and Stone Vasic not really, didn't have an option to try to catch that one. Ty Volmer missed it so high. I've never seen the breeze really affect a pitch, but it's blowing so hard out of center field right now that it could have affected that pitch from Ty Volmer. He looks like he might be making his way to the Sturgis Bike Rally later this month. He's got the handlebars rocking.
1-2, misses high, so count runs even at 2 apiece. It is a great mustache. He's gotten some Kenny Powers comparisons from some fans in attendance.
Yeah, that checks out.
Flagpole blowing strong as that one misses high and inside for ball 3. So Tyler Hoffman was down in the count. Now has battled all the way back to a 3-2. See if he can reach here. Alex Jackson in the on-deck circle.
Well, Volmer's had some trouble getting into the zone. I'd be patient here on this pitch.
3-2, misses high, and Tyler Hoffman takes his base.
Yeah, good at bat there by Tyler Hoffman. Getting behind 0-2, and that foul ball on that 0-2 pitch that kept him alive was enough to force Ty Volmer to throw a few more pitches. And can't really say good eye. A lot of those pitches were pretty wild, but it's tough for a guy, especially when you're not expecting to be thrust into the game so quickly, to have a long break and then get put out there on the mound like Ty Volmer did with runners on and a jam all ready to deal with. Now he's got to face off with Alex Jackson.
Alex Jackson stepping in. 2 outs, bases loaded for the Zap, and a big at-bat here for Alex Jackson. He fans over that one for strike 1.
Good comeback fastball there for Ty Volmer after getting a little bit stray on his pitches. Starts off Jackson, he gets ahead. That's what you want if you're Volmer there.
0-1 now, swung through. Jackson looking aggressive at the plate now, behind in the count 0-2.
Well, now is when you go Tyler Hoffman mode. Just defend the plate, spoil some good pitches, and try to make him throw you some balls.
0-2. A dangerous take, but off the plate for ball 1.
Well, it looked good from up here, but Vasic was set up on the outer half of the zone, so even though he really hit the spot, a good pitch from Volmer to hit the spot that he was set up for by his catcher. But Jackson kind of knowing that and letting it sail wide.
The 1-2 now to Jackson. Back-to-back misses there, evens up the count at 2 apiece. See if Jackson can fight back like Hoffman did. Bases loaded, 2 away here on a dark, cloudy day in Pierce, South Dakota. 2-2 now. Swung, checked in the dirt. Alex Jackson goes down swinging, but the Zap take the lead in the bottom of the 4th. We'll be right back here in the 5th when we'll see Hudson Ivy trot out onto the mound for the Oahe Zap.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Doing a little spring cleaning at your house? I'm Val Keller, City of Pierce Solid Waste Manager, letting you know the City Supply Swap program can help. We'll recycle cleaning supplies, paint, and other household chemicals you don't want anymore. Plus, you're free to take any products other people dropped off for recycling. The swap program helps our customers and keeps things out of our landfill. Supplies we accept include stains and sealers, pesticides, pool chemicals, typical cleaning agents, as well as oil-based paint, latex paint, and spray paint. For additional information, call 605-773-7434. Again, that's 773-7434 for more information about recycling your household supplies and paint. Let the City of Pierre help you get your home and garage cleared out and cleaned up for the summer months.
This public service message is brought to you by the radio stations of the DRG Media Group in Pierre.
To the top of the fifth we go. Zap in front 2-1 on the Mason Lang RBI hit after the long delay that brought some lightning, brought some rain, and some heavy, heavy winds. So much so it blew a couple of the trash cans over, a couple of the stuff holding. We even saw one of the picnic tables almost take a ride in the wind. And over at Hillsview Golf Course, the tree on 11th, or the 11th hole, the par 5, it actually blew that down. So now that par 5 a little bit more gettable. Heavy winds that came through and have left. And now Hudson Ivy will take the bump here for the Zap. As the Zap lead 2-1 here on a late night ball game. Had to get this one in. Hudson Ivy now dusting off the cleats. And that'll bring up Andrew Witt to lead off here for the Spuds. Ivy coming set. First pitch from Ivy is rifled out into right field. Over to it is the man of the hour, Alex Jackson. He squeezes and makes the first out of the inning. So that's pretty efficient work for Hudson Ivy right there. One pitch, one out.
Yeah, and I'm sure both teams wouldn't mind some efficient work on the bump from both of their guys right now.
Yeah, Casper's got a long road trip to make. Zap will be off tomorrow as Cade Queen takes a first pitch ball on the outside corner. They've got to go and hit the road again. Second pitch is in there, swinging and missing. Cade Queen takes strike one.
I respect Jeff Adele still counting the beer batter even though the beer cart's closed.
And there's not many people left to take advantage of some of those beer sales as that one misses outside.
I'm not sure they could even if they wanted to. They can maybe beg and plead, but I don't think there's concessions the rest
You know
of the
what?
night.
Alex Sheets, the general manager, takes such good care of the folks here. I'm sure he would find a way. Ivy misses high. Count works 3-1. Yeah, that flag out in right center field. I'm not sure if you said this, Dylan, and if I have, I apologize for repeating. As the 3-1 in there for strike two. Good pitch on the outside corner from Ivy. It has kind of separated the bottom part of that flag from the pole.
Yeah, I noticed that, but I hadn't said anything. That is product of that crazy win we had earlier.
3-2, just off the plate, and Cade Queen draws the walk. Lawson, Marino, and Wyatt Gladue started this game. The Spuds will head to Casper. As we mentioned, Zap will be off tomorrow before welcoming in the Fremont Move for a 3-game series. And that one is worn on the back by Trent Rucker. So a little bit wet out there still. Ball's hard to keep a grip on. And Hudson Ivy into the numbers of Trent Rucker, so he will head down to first base. And now with one out, they've got runners on first and second. The wind's still howling.
Yeah, this is some nasty, nasty wind here again.
So Mason Lang and Hudson Ivy having a chat after Ivy lost control of that fastball. Scary moment there earlier today when Nick Golden wore that pitch on the face, had to go to the hospital. You know, for a broken nose, he's still a good-looking kid as he made his way back to the ballpark, much to the joy of his Zap teammates. The bunt is laid down right down the first baseline. Ludvigsen's going to grab it, and he's going to let the runner run out of the baseline. Now, well, did he tag him? They're going to...
Richard Gilmore said he was out.
Okay, so they called him out of the baseline. I didn't see the signal from Gilmore. Ludvigsen kind of chased him out of that baseline. So that'll be 2 outs. Runners now at second and third.
chance to get out of a jam with any sort of out here. Good defense there from Ludwigson not to lose his cool on the bunt like so many teams will do. Let's go attack the batter at the plate.
So back up to the top of the lineup. That gets away from Mason Lang. So more control issues from Hudson Ivy, and the Spuds have tied the game. So that's the bunt paying off right there for the Spuds. And we're tied up at 2 apiece. Not what you wanted to do there for Hudson Ivy with runners on second and third. We'll see if he can lock back in here. Trying to go in after Caden Wilcox. We got time called. I think Wilcox with some dust coming up into the eyes there. We had about, at a moment, there was a moment where the winds were blowing, no joke, folks, about 80 miles per hour. I mean, it was moving everything that was not bolted to the ground. Second pitch from Ivy in there for strike one after the wild pitch. So Ivy will come set here with the 1-1. Spuds can take the lead with a base hit. And that one catches the inside corner for strike two. Wilcox didn't like the call. He's going to take a long stroll around that right-handed batter's box behind 1 and 2. Ivy comes set, trying to put away the hitter here and keep this game tied on the outside corner. Wilcox goes down looking, and a long look at Richard Gilmore, but that's not going to do anything for Wilcox. The Spuds tie the game up at 2. We head to the bottom of the 5th. We'll see if the Zap can answer here at Hyde Stadium.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers non-stop flights to Denver. Starting August 1st, book your destination at United.com. With United Mileage Plus, you can save more by earning miles when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. 1-hour flights to Denver and the world beyond. Avoid the crowds, avoid the drive, and enjoy free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. United Airlines in Pierre starting August 1st. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre.
We're good at making excuses for things we don't want to do.
I can't work late because my cat has a job interview.
Unfortunately, we're also good at making excuses for things we shouldn't do, like driving drunk.
There's nothing on the back roads but cows.
The truth is, there's no good reason to drink and drive, not even if you stick to the back roads. If you drink, don't drive. No excuses. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, South Dakota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
If you're interested in becoming a valued sponsor of an Oahe Zap broadcast, you can contact us for more information at sports@dakotaradiogroup.com or call us at 605-224-8686.
So Richard Gilmore, and now look, Will Ianconi is holding back his assistant coach from getting at Richard Gilmore. Not sure what that could have been about, as this has been just a day of anger. And, you know, we saw Lawson Moreno. He hit Andrew Phillips on the first pitch of the game. Phillips turned to bunt. It ended up being a foul ball. He wore it off the hand. Just trying to move him off the plate a little bit and ran inside. And then he hit Nick Golden in the face, which sent him to the hospital. And Will Ianconi had a very adamant conversation with Lawson Moreno. Of course, you know, it's wet, hot. You lose control of the ball. I don't know how many times, you know, we will go over that. You know, we don't think it was an intentional play. You don't want to just easily put a runner on, but after that, not sure what the Spuds coaching staff was so upset about. But there's been a lot of conversations with the umpires, a lot of conversations with these players, these pitchers, and folks are just losing their cool kind of everywhere here, it seems.
Mother Nature herself included lost her cool earlier.
Yeah, it sure did. And the thing about Nick Golden getting hit is he is a guy that sets up on the inside corner of the plate. You know, he's been hit 20 times this season. At some point, as Plizzy takes ball one high, you know, when you set up on the inside of the plate, you're bound to get hit by some pitches. But man, is Nick Golden tough. Went to the hospital and came back. Here's the 1-0 from Polizzi. Fouled into the netting. As that ball got away from Ty Vollmer. So Vollmer coming set with the 1-1 count. This one fouled right back into the face mask of Stone Vasic.
Polizzi trying to get his team that lead back.
See if Polizzi can leave the ballpark. Not a friendly wind for a right-handed hitter. Vollmer delivers the 1-2. That one line back our direction, foul. Oh, and it almost caught a fan who's sitting there scrolling through his phone, not paying attention. A young fan at that. That would have not been good. That's why you pay attention to the ball game, folks. He had his face in his phone, and he almost wore a ball. Polizzi belts one into deep right center field, tracking over, dealing with the wind, diving and making the catch is Trent Rucker. What a play to battle the wind, the dark lights up in the sky, and make an outstanding diving play. And he's shaking his head. I don't even think he can believe it. That was an outstanding catch from Trent Rucker in center field.
Yeah, that was very impressive. Trying to fight that wind all the way.
So now Ty Farwell will come up to the plate. He takes a strike on the outside corner to start off his at-bat. Farwell twirling the bat, waiting. Vollmer with the handlebar mustache and the flow coming out the back of the ball cap. That one rifled foul into Capitol Avenue. That is backed up by some cotton candy skies with that little bit of sunlight still trying to find its way into the sky. Farwell behind 0-2 here with one out. Pitch from Vollmer. Check swing way up in the zone. Farwell got a piece of that one. I don't know how. Good thing he stands at about 6'4" does Ty Farwell. And we're looking now. We're waiting to get a number. There has been a Spuds player that has been sent from the dugout. And he's got all of his things as Farwell takes a ball low. And that is, we believe, Austin Hummel.
Assistant coach.
Who must have been ejected. Again, Farwell rips that one up the middle for a base hit on a 2-strike count. Ty Farwell continues to deliver. As we mentioned there before the start of this inning, there was an assistant coach who was really letting Richard Gilmore have it. Not really sure why. There wasn't anything of note since the lightning and rain delay concluded that happened in the game that would give the Spuds coaching staff any reason to be barking at the umpire. But he is now set up back behind general admission. He's still got a good seat to the game.
Just I don't know if he got ejected, if he's allowed to have a seat to the game.
Well, we can't speculate. So that'll bring up Jared Pugrad, who always stays aggressive but has been patient on these first pitches, and Vollmer delivers a strike in there for strike one. Vollmer coming set, Farwell leading off of first, and Pugrad rips one through the gap on the left side. Another base hit for the Zap, this time Jared Pugrad. And that'll move Farwell to second. There's that lovely celebration from Jared Pugrad on the first base bag. So that'll bring up Quinn Ludvigsen. Q, as the guys so lovingly refer to him.
He's not a fan of full names because he always comes up and calls me Dill.
Dill, okay. I wondered what I'd get.
Just.
Idiot. Here comes Volmer set. He's going to deliver the first pitch to Ludvigsen and miss high for ball one. And this one gets by Volmer. And we give Hank Harp the A for effort over there on shortstop. He backed up Volmer and then applied the tag to Farwell, who was standing on second base. You never know. You might be able to steal an out. Farwell dancing back there. And now Gilmore and Stone Vasic are having a conversation. Gilmore has taken his mask off and had to pause the game for a moment. Vasic was kind of turning his back to Gilmore. And now Ludvigsen will call for time. So the Spuds are upset about something. And now the runners are going. This one high and away, misses. The throw down to second, not in time. So Pugrad and Farwell both steal. Beautiful block by Andrew Witt at third base to keep that from going into left field, which would have certainly given the Zap the lead back.
And we got Braxton Plemons back in the chat. Welcome back, Braxton. We
Braxton
missed you,
Plemons.
buddy. How's it going at New College?
Good to see our buddy Braxton. Infield playing in as Ludvigsen takes ball 3 low, and Volmer is a pitch away from loading the bases. That just is a testament to the camaraderie and the brotherhood that is created within this Zap organization and this team. The guys that are no longer with this squad still following along, still rooting their guys on. Here's the 3-0. That one in there for strike one. Ludvigsen started to make his way down to first base and then tried to play it off like he was kind of taking a stroll around. Don't want to get on Richard Gilmore's bad side. He doesn't really have a bad side. This one will miss high, so one pitch later, Ludvigsen will earn the walk, and that'll bring up Gavin Frazier. So this will require a mound visit out to Ty Volmer. No work in that Spuds bullpen. So now it'll be Gavin Frazier with the bases loaded and only one out.
And it's a big moment here, just one away, and Gavin Frazier already back up again and see if he can do some damage here. I know he's been itching to get back out there like that 5-hit day he had a couple of weeks ago.
So Frazier still waiting as the mound visit has concluded. And we did get word that the Spuds coach, Austin Hummel, was ejected from the game. But he did want to get back on the bus. He wanted to follow the rules of the ejection. But the Spuds bus driver, well, he's still in the lightning and rain delay. He has fallen asleep in that comfortable-looking coach. Hey, if Austin wants, he can come join us on the broadcast. Here's the 1-0 to Frazier, swung on and missed for strike one. Throughout this series, we have been able to talk to the Spuds coaching staff. Nice guys, especially Will Ianconey. 1-1 to Frazier. In there for strike two. Good pitch from Volmer. And now Frazier is going to have to go into defense mode. Now Frazier ahead, behind 1-2. Volmer coming set. One out, bases loaded here for the Zap. And that is strike three, and Frazier knew it all the way. He's headed back to the dugout. Good comeback pitch there from Ty Volmer. And that'll bring up Mason Lang. And now we see something we don't normally see. Mason Lang is wearing batting gloves. So we see some issues gripping the ball with the moisture still in the air. So much so Mason Lang has caved and has thrown on some gloves. First pitch to Lang is ripped down the third base line. Look out, Ty Farwell. He's paying more attention than that one young fan was who had his face drowned in his phone. Farwell was able to get out of the way of that heat-seeking missile off the bat of Mason Lang. So Lang coming set. As is Vollmer. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one rifled, and that one too foul down the third base line and out of play. So now Vollmer, who has gotten himself into a jam, could get out of it here unscathed. Game still tied at 2 apiece, and the Zap trying to stay out of a situation they've found themselves in, not scoring with runners all around the bases. Here's the pitch to Lang. He skies it up, and the wind, look at the wind take this thing. That started around the area of Ty Vollmer on the mound, and the wind hit it and pushed it nearly into the pond over behind Capitol Avenue. I mean, that thing moved a solid 40 yards in the air. They are going to get this game in. Rain, shine, wind, hail, sleet, whatever. Still 0-2 to Mason Lang. He skies that one foul. So good job of defensive hitting here from Mason Lang. Emiliano Curiel in the on-deck circle, then back to the top of the lineup for the Oahe Zap. If they can get there, that would mean they've scored some runs here in the bottom of the 5th. Vollmer set, delivers. Lang drills it into deep left, giving chase is Sean Glatz, looking up, and that one is off the wall. Lang will empty the bases. Mason Lang on an 0-2 count. It's a double off the wall and left, and the Zap have blown it open 5-2. You feel bad for Sean Glatz out there in left field who was dealing with that wind, but everybody's got to deal with it. What a piece of hitting from Mason Lang. He may want to keep the batting gloves on the rest of the season.
I thought that one was going to leave because of the wind. I mean, that was just hooking and hooking and hooking. It bounces off the wall. A massive hit for Mason Lang.
0-2 count, 2 outs, and Mason Lang sends a double off the wall and left and makes it a 5-2 lead for the Zap. We'll see if Emiliano Curiel can keep it going. Vollmer was one pitch away from getting himself out of the jam. And just short of a grand slam, that's about the worst thing that could have happened to him. But he'll have to settle back in as he has still got danger to deal with. He's behind 1-0 here to Curiel. Curiel fouls that one off the end of the bat. What a hit from Mason Lang. All through these last couple games, it has felt like you're banging your head against the wall with the Zap getting bases loaded, nobody out, and not bringing anybody across. As that one misses high. But Mason Lang exercised those demons. And Sean Glatz is a great left fielder, but that one lined back our way and just out of reach. Glatz is an outstanding left fielder and has got immense speed, but with as stout as the wind is, there was just really no chance for him to make that play.
About as impossible as a play as you'll see.
And glad to see him still out moving around in left field. He ran into that wall pretty hard. He put all of his effort trying to make that play. As Curiel fouls that one off. Count still at 2-2. I mean, we saw how much the wind affected that pop fly in the middle of the infield that moved it so far foul, it moved it out of the ballpark. And Dylan was right. That one was hit hard, but almost got out. As Curiel rifles one in the Zap dugout. Look out. And we just want to make sure everybody's okay in there. Looks like everybody's up and still moving around. Curiel with a big smile on his face. So
Jake Daly got the ball all right.
As long as the new bat boy down there, Brecken Life, is okay. He's 8 years old. I think the rest of the Zap team can handle themselves. Here's the 2-2 again to Curiel. He fouls that one off, staying alive.
And credit to these Zap hitters. They're staying alive in some dangerous counts, and without doing that, this inning would be over and you wouldn't have any runs across.
Indeed. Mason Lang was just protecting the plate and poked one out into left. Curiel would love to keep this 2-out rhythm going, something the Zap have done all season long, is score runs with 2 outs. The 2-2 to Curiel, off the plate, ball 3. This wind is still just howling across the field here. Trees are swaying. Cups are floating around. Dirt is getting kicked up. Not easy to play ball in this. Curiel chops another one foul. You know, if Curiel doesn't end up getting on base, this is still an outstanding at-bat from Emiliano. I mean, Ty Fulmer is throwing him just about everything in his arsenal. And Curiel is just forcing pitch after pitch and working up the pitch count of the reliever, Ty Fulmer. Bottom of the 5th here, 5-2 lead for the Zap. All 5 runs scored, or excuse me, 4 of those 5 runs scored in the last 2 innings. As this one's off the plate, what an at-bat from Emiliano Curiel. He draws a 10-pitch walk, fighting off pitch after pitch after pitch. And that'll bring up Tyler Hoffman.
And they've already got Vollmer up to 60 pitches thrown.
That is unbelievable. Doesn't feel like he's been out there that long.
I mean, they're just fighting off everything right now. There's not been an easy out for Vollmer yet.
I think his handlebar mustache got a little bit longer since he started his outing. So we'll see if Hoffman can keep the circle spinning around, as that one's taken for strike 1 on the inside corner. Keep the carousel going is what I think I was looking for. As we're at 9:45 here at night. It's been a long day for us, folks. Hoffman skies this one back our direction, foul. And I must say, with as much rain that came through here, that infield was looking soppy wet. The Oahe Zap grounds crew did an outstanding job to get it ready for play. The 0-2 to Hoffman misses high for ball 1. This feels like a little bit of Aiden Johnson's outing yesterday. He would get 2 outs so easily, so quickly, but then would just run into some good spud hitting. That's what's happened here for the Zap. That one misses high. Hoffman's worked it to a 2-2 count with 2 outs. So Hoffman banging the bat against the cleats to work free some of that mud that's clumped up. Alex Jackson awaiting in the on-deck circle. There's the 2-2 from Vollmer. Swung on and missed. He pulled the string and got Hoffman swinging, but not before Mason Lang blows this thing open. It's 5-2 Zap after a bases-loaded double from the Zap catcher gives them the lead. We'll be back with the top of the 6th after this short break on River 92.7.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around? Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Think Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Mason Lang, yesterday's birthday boy, delivering a present for all the Zap fans here tonight. A 3-run bases clearing double.
A belated birthday present.
Yep. I think that's reverse customary. I think we were supposed to get Mason something, but he's given all of you lucky Zap fans out there a 3-run lead here on a dark night in Pierre as Hudson Ivy fires strike one. And we had primetime baseball on that game that got pushed back. I don't know what we want to call this because it's almost 10 o'clock.
This is West Coast prime time.
The 0-1 misses for ball one. Apologize to any fans of ours in the Eastern time zone. Might be a long night for you.
Yeah, settle in.
Get comfy. The 1-1 swung line back the other way, but that one hooking foul. That wind taking one from Cody Clausius there.
That is absurd. I mean, that's unbelievable how far that started in fair territory and just got pushed. And more chirps coming from the Spuds dugout and Richard Gilmore. I mean, he is taking a lot of grief from this Spuds dugout.
And they currently have a hat stuck in the... They're trying to get it to come down as Clausius lines that one out into center field. That one hooking and hooking, getting down for a wonky single. As Tyler Hoffman was trying to play it in left center field gap, Emiliano Curiel was chasing as well, but that one just kept blowing and eventually find some real estate. But that one was likely have been extra bases if it wasn't for the wind.
Well, Cody Clausius made sure not to let the wind affect that one and get foul. Sends it to where you would need, maybe the wind that initiated this delay could have pushed that one foul.
Clausius reaching there, brings Stone Vasic to the plate. So he watched strike one. Mason Lang going to have a quick mound visit with Hudson Ivy.
And I think we are in the clear for the rest of the evening, knock on wood. Would you like to, as this mound visit goes on, should we put another timer on Big John and the meteorology report?
I'd say under 30 seconds.
30 seconds, all right.
If he's still awake.
Oh, he's awake.
Oh, I know he's awake. He wouldn't miss some Zap baseball.
Can't miss Zap baseball. Crucial Zap baseball.
I think he gets it in 30 seconds this time.
I know he's rifling his fingers as fast as he can to try to pull up the weather app.
Another quick time.
Yeah, that one called by Stone Vasic at home plate because the gust picked up so quickly that I think he was trying to have to shield his eyes. You don't want to face a sidearm pitcher from the right side with this wind blowing like that and not being able to open your eyes fully.
And everyone down on the field making sure to hold on to their hats. This will be a test of if you got the right sized fitted hat or not, if it'll stay on your head. So we've already seen a lot of them get lost. The 0-1 swung, put into play by Vasic. This one might be two. Frazier turning. Pugrad on the exchange. They say he's safe. That one looked like it was on the exchange, but
they will call him out at second base. So he was signaling the motion that you saw there on the broadcast from Chris Dozark out at the bases was. It looked like safe from afar, but he was signaling that it was on the exchange. I don't know. Maybe Dozark should probably figure out a different motion for that one, but Hey, nonetheless, a good play there from Frazier and Pugrad to get the lead runner and get the first out of the inning.
Marsick steps in now. One away here for Hudson Ivy. That one swung the other way, but that one's going to drift foul.
I mean, it's incredible to watch. Almost unbelievable, these balls that go straight up in the air and then see them just shoot off to the left with this wind.
I mean, that wind is as vicious as we have ever seen. And
it blew Mason Lang over behind the dish. He actually stumbled over, and Richard Gilmore had to dig his cleats in not to go along with Mason Lang.
And you said earlier, Justin, we didn't think we had a wind blow in this year. I think we finally got one as Hudson Ivy fires strike 2.
This is like all the winds we've had all season long combined and now coming back in our direction.
This is just crazy. But games will go on. The 0-2 now from Hudson Ivy. A quick time again for Marsick. Some vision issues here tonight. I can't blame him for using as many times as possible. It is hard to see with this wind, and this wind is every bit as vicious as when it started that storm earlier. As another time, the dust just continuing to blow here right towards that Spuds dugout.
And now they're going to call a balk on Hudson Ivy. They were going to say he was on the mound, and that wind kind of shifting him around. And unfortunately for Hudson Ivy, that's kind of the letter of the law. He's looking around kind of saying, do you see this wind I'm dealing with? But unfortunately for him, and now Richard Gilmore is pleading and arguing with the Zap dugout.
Quick conversation there. And
hey, we said it. Both teams have to play in it. And Hudson Ivy, his foot was on the rubber, and any motions you make that are not your normal delivery will be a balk.
The 0-2 now runs high for ball 1.
And that's a tough break there for Hudson Ivy because it eliminates the possibility of the double play. I don't know how easy a double play is going to get in these conditions, but you have to just settle in and focus on the batter in the left-handed batter's box, a good hitter in Matt Marsick.
That one runs high and inside for ball 2. And you have a 3-run insurance policy provided by Mason Lang. So if the 1 run comes across, it feels like you can live with that, but got to attack the hitter. The 2-2, and Marsick goes down looking. Good comeback pitch there from Hudson Ivy.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what Marsick's so upset about. That was a perfectly placed pitch. He just drew a line in the dirt, and now he's tossed all of his gear on the field. And now he's going to force his teammates to pick it up. So he's throwing all of his gear out.
So that one gets behind Lang, firing, making a smart business move to not throw to third because that one might have been able to get away from Farwell.
This is true.
So they're going to call a quick mound visit here with Hudson Ivy.
Well, Marsick was, kind of signaling at Hudson Ivy after Hudson Ivy was talking with Gilmore about the balk. He's kind of signaling like, what do you expect? You were on the rubber and you moved. It's a balk. And if Richard Gilmore had seen him draw the line in the dirt, Marsick would have been tossed from the game. So, luckily for Marsick, Gilmore was looking the other way. But Marsick was very unhappy with that call because on his way back, he took the helmet off and threw the bat down on the ground. Took his arm guard off and his batting gloves and threw that on the ground. And the guy, his teammate in the on-deck circle, Cade Queen, kind of looked around like, do you expect me to pick this up?
He's gonna be careful because if he tosses one of those high enough, it might be blown off.
Yeah, you might not get it back.
Off into the night sky.
Might have to go fetch it from the pond.
1-0 now. That one runs in and thought caught the batter, but he was just maybe blown away there. From the way he fell from the vantage point I saw, I thought he was hit. But now the 2-0 from Ivy. That one runs high and inside for ball 3.
Everybody holding on to their hats down there as Lang got blown away yet again. And Ivy has sped up his delivery, too. The second he steps on the rubber, it's as if he starts to deliver because he just doesn't want to get another balk.
As that one's fired in for strike 1. Mason Lang trying to keep Hudson Ivy calm through all this wind. The 3-1 now swung foul over the broadcast booth. So now the count runs full.
Good job of Hudson Ivy to work back in this account.
Payoff pitch from Ivy. In there for ball 4. On the corner, Richard Gilmore says that one didn't catch anything. So a full count walk there for Hudson Ivy, battling back and an at-bat from 3-0 down. As now, Hudson Ivy dealing with a little bit of a jam. Runners on the corners with 2 away. Comes set, fires in there for strike 1. Andrew Witt now to the plate. Tonight's third baseman for the Spuds. 0-1, runner goes, and that one skied out into the outfield. This one won't be routine with the wind. Jackson settling under it and making the play. Battling the wind, but it unfazes Jackson. The Zaps still lead 5-2. We'll be right back here in the bottom of the 6th.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media peek can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes. Pay by the round. Save with a punch card or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Zap lead 5-2. Alex Jackson due up here. It'll be the 2-3-4 Jackson, Polizzi, Farwell. And it has been a windy night.
And now Habiger and Ianconey are going to have a conversation. Not sure what this could be about, but Habiger.
He patted him on the back. It's got to be
somewhat cordial, I would assume, but Gilmore, obviously.
They're giving thumbs up towards Richard Gilmore, so it can't be too bad. They're throwing thumbs up. They're like, we're not fighting, guys. We're not fighting. Now a stray ball coming in. Just a crazy night here at Hyde Stadium.
All right, Alex Jackson.
Now Jackson stepping in. He came in for the injured Nick Golden. Nick Golden going to the hospital, getting checked out, coming back. He's got a bit of a swollen nose, but still looked good as he was probably fighting the whole time at the hospital to try to get back over here. cheer on his team.
Asking the nurse, do you guys have the Oahe Zap YouTube on this TV?
Can I tune into River 92.7 on this thing? Jackson ahead in the count 1-0 as a dust storm attacks the Spuds. The 1-0 in there for strike one to Jackson. Alex Jackson, even in the count one apiece, trying to bring up the heart of this Zap lineup. The 1-1 now. In there for strike two. Jackson had a kind of a grimacing look at that one. Not sure he liked that call. But Richard Gilmore, we said it the other night, he's got the best seat in the house for a reason. One of the league's most tenured umps, a vet of his craft, as Jackson fans over that one for strike three. Now Vince Polizzi steps in. One away. Ty Farwell on deck. Zap leading 5-2. It was Mason Lang who hit a ball that bounced off the fence for a big hit for the Oahe Zap. So Vince Polizzi trying to get some action here. That one catches his own for strike one. Polizzi lying in the count. A crazy night here in town as Polizzi calls time, dealing with some dust. Just a crazy, crazy night. Some of the nastiest weather I think I've seen since I moved to South Dakota. Wind was blowing like crazy. Rain was coming in sideways. The 0-1 now to Polizzi in there for strike two. Got so bad that we were running around. A dad had lost his daughter, and she was just taking cover in the bathroom.
Yeah, it was a scary moment.
We eventually found her. All was good. They were reunited. The 0-2 now to Polizzi. Watches that one skip in for ball one. We were running around like chickens with our heads cut off, just trying to grab all the stuff, get it back tied down. A table was broken. A picnic table was lost almost.
There was just debris everywhere.
Mayonnaise and ketchup and mustard packets everywhere. The 1-2 line back the other way from Vince Polizzi. That one going to get down. He's chugging for two. Marsick giving chase and firing back in, but Polizzi will be in there standing for two.
Yeah, nice job by Polizzi to send that back the other way. And I think Marsick, who is where he's set up in right field, very shallow and very shaded over towards center. So it kind of just never gave him an opportunity to get over to get to that ball. I think with the wind, he was probably thinking, if anything has hit my direction, it's going to start flying over towards center. So I might as well set up shallow and over towards center. And Vince Polizzi took advantage. That's a big hit for Polizzi with one out.
Ty Farwell now standing at the plate. Polizzi at second. Another chance for some insurance for the Zap. Farwell check swings. They say it doesn't matter. That one in there for a strike. Another bit of the storm. There was debris everywhere, and I saw daughter of the GM, Emma Sheets, had lost a toy out in the mayhem. So I ran out, grabbed it, returned it back to its rightful owner. Thought that one was going to finally win me my high five, but I was mistaken. The 0-1 swung foul off by Farwell. Still a couple of fans here tonight. Certainly a lot more than I thought would have stayed through that nasty, nasty weather. Of course, Zap superfan Charles still in attendance. So he goes chasing for a foul ball, trying to get himself a slushie. I hate to break it to the kids, I don't think the concession stand's still open, so they might have to save those foul balls for another day.
You wouldn't expect the Pier Wildcats not to be here, would you?
If I was expecting anyone to be here, if I had to pick 5 people, I think they'd be all 5. As Farwell fouls that one off.
There's no bigger Zap fans than the Pier Wildcats. And the Zap, too, for those that don't know, the Pier Wildcats are the Special Olympics team here in Central South Dakota. And to watch the Zap players interact with those athletes and just how welcoming and kind they are.
The 0-2 now to Ty Farwell. Swung, driven into center field. That one hooking, and Rucker diving and making another play. Polizzi will get doubled up. He was running aggressively. A great play with the wind. Trent Rucker stealing a run there from the Zap. They lead 5-2. We'll be right back here on River 92.7.
The summer is here, and you know what that means. The Oahe Zap are back, and we at DRG Media Group are bringing you coverage of every Zap home game all summer long. You can hear all the home Zap games on River 92.7, or you can watch them live on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page. The Zap are offering you fans something new every single night. So get out to Hyde Stadium for some Zap baseball this summer. Purchase your tickets on oahezap.com or buy them at the box office. If you can't make it to the game, we've got you covered on River 92.7 Oahe Zap Baseball, brought to you by DRG Media Group.
Vince Polizzi rolling the dice there on second base, and, well, the dealer had 21 on that one. What a play by Trent Rucker out in center field to battle the wind, dive out, make the great catch. Polizzi, like I said, rolled the dice, thought that one might get down with the wind, and took off for third. Wanted to score if that ball were to get down, but Rucker swiped it out of the air and made a great play to keep this a 5-2 Zap lead as we enter the top of the seventh. It's still Hudson Ivy out on the bump. And the Zap looking for a crucial win here. And, at first I thought that the Spuds would want nothing more than to finish this game tonight. But after hearing from some of the players and some of the fans, they were, I guess, hoping this would be postponed. I'm really not sure why. If it was me in that situation as a player, and with a series coming up against, and the, coming up back at your home place, and having to go all the way home, and your game being tomorrow night as you take on a good team against the Spearfish Sasquatch, I would not want to make a trip all the way back out to Pier. As Ivy starts off his first challenger, and Cade Queen with a high ball.
That's the thing with that series. It kind of handcuffs you where you have to play it tonight.
As that one misses just off the outside corner for ball one. If it were earlier in the season, say when Spuds were here last time, you could obviously say, we'll finish this the next time we see you here in town. As this one's taken for a strike, Cade Queen taken all the way, just forcing Hudson Ivy to throw him a strike before he swings the bat. But, there's only 2 weeks left in the regular season. 2-1 from Ivy is ripped towards second. Pugrad charges. He's got it. Fires to first, and Queen is retired. That'll be the first out of the inning. Good pitch. Sounded like Cade Queen might have splintered his bat a little bit on that swing. Got him kind of in on the hands. And Queen, a very powerful guy, probably has no problem breaking a bat on a swing.
Yeah, it's just kind of a weird setup because this isn't like that South Dakota World Series where we saw the Zap and Spearfish play 7 straight games.
Right, 4 here, 3 on the road in Spearfish.
You can't just pick it up when you play each other the next day. And, you can maybe play it in the morning before they drive back to Casper, but I don't think you'd really want to do that, have to drive all the way back to Casper before starting that game tomorrow night. And this is a game between 2 playoff contenders. This is going to be one that has to be played.
As this one's chopped softly up the middle, Frazier going to fire across. What a play from the Zap shortstop, Gavin Frazier. It got under the glove of Hudson Ivy. It was softly hit by Trent Rucker. Frazier came charging on, and with the speed of Rucker, I thought there's no way that play is going to be made, but then I forgot it was Gavin Frazier over there at shortstop. 2 great plays from this middle infield. The first by Jared Pugrad, the second by Gavin Frazier, and it's the second out of the inning, and this one, first pitch ripped by Hank Harp into left field, and he's going to chug for first. Thought he might be turning and rounding for second, but he stays put. Yeah, for Casper and the Spuds, it's over a 6-hour drive, and that's not in a coach bus. That's in a normal car. Too. Especially with wind blowing like this, that's going to be a slow trip, so I don't want to add another 12-hour round trip ride in on your schedule, but it's all a moot point now. Here's the first pitch on the outside corner to Caden Wilcox for ball 1. And we've got the attendance numbers here from General Manager Alex Sheets. As this one's off the foot of Wilcox, and he stumbles coming out of the box. And nobody has signaled foul ball yet. They fired a first, and now we've got a timeout by Chris Dozark. So no out signal, no foul ball signal. It looks like it went off the foot of Caden Wilcox. The Zap are making their way back to the dugout. Hudson Ivy has celebrated. And they're going to bring the Zap back out on the field. I think that was the right call there. It looked like Wilcox got it off the foot. So a good job by the umpires getting together, getting the call right. Zap would have loved to have that out, but from the way that that ball kind of careened off the inner half of Wilcox, definitely looked like it was a foul ball. So Ivy comes set, works and misses outside for ball 2. Five to 2 Zap lead. They've got 8 hits to the Zap. 5 for the Spuds. Ivy delivers. Swung on and missed by Wilcox for the second strike.
Nasty pitch there from Hudson Ivy. And going back to that Trent Rucker play, and we always talk about the wind and how we talk about people running wind sprints. I feel like with that wind, it's going to feel like you're running with a parachute behind you with that push into your face as you're trying to run to first.
2-2 from Ivy. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and Wilcox goes down swinging. So Hudson Ivy gives up a hit to Hank Harp, but other than that, no damage done. Ivy's looked fantastic, as have the Zap. They look to add on to this 5-2 lead. When we return, it's time to stretch here at Hyde Stadium.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Doing a little spring cleaning at your house? I'm Val Keller, City of Pierre Solid Waste Manager, letting you know the City Supply Swap program can help. We'll recycle cleaning supplies, paint, and other household chemicals you don't want anymore. Plus, you're free to take any products other people dropped off for recycling. The swap program helps our customers and keeps things out of our landfill. Supplies we accept include stains and sealers, pesticides, pool chemicals, typical cleaning agents, as well as oil-based paint, latex paint, and spray paint. For additional information, call 605-773-7434. Again, that's 773-7434 for more information about recycling your household supplies and paint. Let the City of Pierre help you get your home and garage cleared out and cleaned up for the summer months.
This public service message is brought to you by the radio stations of the DRG Media Group in Pierre.
We head to the bottom of the 7th inning as we are past the 10 o'clock hour here at Hyde Stadium. This will likely be the latest broadcast we've ever had after that long rain and lightning delay. New pitcher on the mound for the Spuds. It is Hunter Billingsley, and he is going to try to keep this at a 3-run deficit for the Spuds. It'll be Jared Pugrad to lead things off, Quinn Ludvigson behind him, and then Gavin Frazier, who we saw make an outstanding play over there at shortstop in the top of the 7th inning. And we're thankful for all of you folks who have stuck along with us in this late night ball game. Lights are the only lights, as the sun is long gone and certainly shielded off by those clouds. It was looking great at first pitch, 98 degrees when this game got underway earlier today. And then back behind us, we saw some clouds moving in. Thought we might get some rain around 8:45. It came sooner than that. Actually, the lightning came first. There was a lightning strike that kind of lit up the diamond. And that was the initial delay. The delay came in, I would say, around 7:40-ish, maybe a little bit after 7:30 when the delay was instituted, and then we didn't get playing ball until after 9 o'clock, so it was certainly over an hour in terms of the delay. all the weather in terms of rain and lightning has left the area, but the wind has not. It is still blowing and probably 30 miles an hour with gusts. We've had about 50-mile-an-hour gusts here at the ballpark. As Jared Pugrad digs in, first pitch from Hunter Billingsley misses down and away for ball one. Billingsley, not a big guy, but a good fastball out of that right hand.
Yeah, we've seen him a lot at the plate. I think it's the first time we've seen him pitch against the Zap this year.
4-game series. You're going to use a lot of arms. And Pugrad wears it. So another hit by pitch. And it's just kind of becoming comical at this point in the season.
Pugrad's climbing that leaderboard fast, man. He's only been here for a couple of weeks.
It's like a rite of passage if you're a Zap player. You got to get hit by a pitch at some point. Nick Golden got hit by a pitch earlier tonight, but he made it back from the hospital, and he was down in the dugout with the boys, got a helmet on. As Ludvigsen takes strike one on the outside corner, but he's got the helmet on backwards, so it's protecting the top of the dome, but not the front of the dome.
I need to get him a football helmet to wear.
Maybe some shoulder pads, too. 0-1 to Ludvigsen. Strike two on the outside corner. That fastball's working.
And he's living on the edge, sitting on the retaining wall out there.
I know. He's the first one out, too. He is the furthest out on that retaining wall. We told you he's tough. Nothing scares Nick Golden. Not even a fastball to the schnoz as Ludvigsen takes the first ball of this at-bat high and away. Lawson Moreno had a little bit of trouble of control, but he settled in nicely after that first inning and only given up one run. As Ludvigsen shoots one deep into left, Marsick tracks back, fighting the wind, plants under it. Actually, Seth Glatz out there in left field. My apologies, but he makes a great catch nonetheless. And that'll be the first out of the inning.
And the wind's settling down a little bit, and I think both teams get a bit more adjusted to it. I mean, it's some crazy conditions, but the wind, I mean, as I say it ramps back up a little bit, but that one didn't feel as bad as some of the ones we saw earlier. Good play there from Glatz.
Wind got so bad earlier, it was pushing Mason Lang, the catcher, out of his crouched position. Hudson Ivey got called for a balk because the wind moved him on the rubber. Frazier squares to bunt, misses. They're going to try to pick off Pugrad at first, but he's heads up and slides back safely. Late night in the state capitol. As even some of the remaining fans have departed, said, past my bedtime. Here's the 0-1 to Frazier. That's off the neck of the bat towards the shortstop. Barehanded play, fires across the diamond, and it is not in time. What a play by Hank Harp, though. He came off to his right, barehanded a ball that was moving quickly. He fired on the move, and it was a bang-bang play. Cody Clausius with an outstanding pick at first, and I think if there's a few other guys running other than Gavin Frazier, we might have one of the top plays of the season out of Hank Harp. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, just bringing it up off the dirt, making that a close play. You got to tip your hat to him on that one.
So Frazier reaches safely. And you know what? For Hank Harp, I think you still put that one on the highlight reel. Even though the runner was safe, just cut it before Chris Dozark makes the signal. 1-0 to Mason Lang.
Say the play was challenged and it was overturned
right, and it was
later.
Overturned. We'll vouch for you.
I'll vouch to any college coach. That was an incredible play.
We will vouch for Hank Harp. That was pretty spectacular. 1-1 to Lang. Pugrad taken off for third, and they got him in a pickle. He runs right into an out, and Billingsley, he was going to pick him off. He lifted the leg, and Pugrad was already off and running. And now Billingsley with a couple of words for Jared Pugrad as he makes his way back to the dugout.
And you said a couple of fans left due to their bedtime. I saw a young man out there in his PJs during the rain delay, so I don't know if he went home, got his pajamas in case he fell asleep at the ballpark, but That's some dedication right there.
Well, we've got a trainer's table that's pretty darn comfortable, if I do say so myself.
I think I've caught our producer taking a couple of naps up here on that before.
I don't blame him. As this one's rifled up the middle for a base hit. So Pugrad, who got thrown out at third, might have scored on that base hit, but Pugrad got a little bit unlucky. Billingsley just so happened to be in a pickoff attempt back to second and caught Pugrad in the middle of that rundown. But, you know, if you're the Zap, they've preached it all season long. We're going to stay aggressive on the base paths. And Pugrad has done a lot to make up for, like we said about Ty Farwell, he'd have to get caught in a lot of picked-off stealings for all the good stuff that Pugrad's done for this team, as Curiel almost wears one on the inside corner for ball one.
And talk about a great day for Mason Lang, too. Already a 3-hit day, and this ball game's not over.
Mason Lang has been smoking the ball, and he's had a good day defensively behind the plate. Curiel will take strike one on the lower half of the zone.
And he's shown why he was the team MVP last year. He is just such a talented player, South Dakota State guy, a D1 player, and he really shines.
Billingsley comes set, the 1-1. Just off the plate for ball two. And visible frustration from Billingsley on the mound, who wanted that call. A little bit of a lightning strike off in the distance, but seems far enough away. 2-1 count to Curiel. Billingsley delivers. Curiel off the end of the bat, foul. And I'm not sure what Billingsley said to Jared Pugrad after he picked him off. Probably just saying, I hope you were able to get your bag out of the dugout before that rainstorm came through, as Curiel will take ball three low and works the count full. And so the shortstop, Hank Hart, pointing at Gavin Frazier, maybe trying to set up a pickoff play with Billingsley, but Frazier sniffed it out, looked right at Harp as he was signaling back to Billingsley. Here's the payoff pitch. Up and in for ball four, and they have walked the bases loaded for Tyler Hoffman. And if there's anybody on this Zap roster or in this lineup that feels like they're due for a big hit, it's Tyler Hoffman. Guy works tirelessly for this team. Guys absolutely love him. He is always kind of joking around, messing with the guys, and you know his teammates would love to see him add some insurance, which Zap will always use, especially against a good Casper Spuds offense. First pitch to Hoffman, catches the outside corner for strike one.
Yeah, and he's a 3-year player for the Zap. You know he's beloved by the fans, and I don't think anyone wants to see it more than his teammates, him get that swing out. I take that back. Maybe he wants to see it more than them, but
Hoffman holds up on the swing, but takes strike two on a good off-speed pitch from Billingsley.
He's a great dugout guy for any team, especially when you're coming back for your third year. Even coming back halfway through, you know the organization, you know what it takes. You can kind of help guide those other second-half players into the season.
Hoffman behind 0-2, and he takes a ball high.
And we saw a couple of those against Vollmer where Zap got their backs against the wall 0-2 and really fought. We'll see if Hoffman can do that here.
None more than Mason Lang, who hit that bases-clearing double to score 3 on an 0-2 count. This one is low, and Billingsley had made it halfway back to the dugout before he had to come back, and now Stone Vasic having some words with Richard Gilmore. And he's still talking with Gilmore. Still got the mask off. Gilmore can take a lot, but he's been hearing it a lot from the Spuds from all over the place. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, and that one's missed. Hoffman didn't realize it got away from the catcher. Frazier's going to step on the plate. Throw down, not in time, and it gets away from the first baseman. So another run will score. Hoffman on his way to second. Mason Lang came home as did Gavin Frazier, and on a strikeout, the Zap scored 2. Well, we saw Jack Opine score 2. He had a Little League inside the park home run on a strikeout that got away from Noah Cadena and Quinn Ludvigson at first base the other day. So the Zap, well, they kind of repay the favor. Tyler Hoffman went down swinging. It got away from Stone Vasic. The throw down to Cody Clausius was low. Hoffman went in headfirst sliding. Frazier had already scored when the throw got down. But when the ball got away, the Zap took advantage of it. Mason Lang sprinted home, and they lead 7-2 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, that is a big play there for the Zap, giving some much-needed insurance on a strikeout.
They'll take it any way they can get it. And maybe some of those frustrations boiling over. We saw it yesterday with the Zap. They made 7 errors, and you know how frustrated they were getting, and it kind of seeped into their play. Maybe we're seeing some of those frustrations seep into the Spuds here as they got a little bit loose. And Billingsley growing more and more frustrated on the mound.
And Alex Jackson batting for the second time this inning.
Zap have batted around.
Oh, wait, no, that was the last thing. I'm just getting all my things mixed up at this point.
Well, they batted around in 2 innings then. 2 runs here in the bottom of the 7th for the Zap have gotten them out in front by 5 as Jackson takes a strike on the first pitch.
It's been a long one at the ballpark. We'll just leave it at that.
Sure has been a long series. Here's the 0-1 to Jackson. This one lifted high and foul. Well, first pitch was a little bit under 4.5 hours ago.
I might have to take a nap on the trainer's table. I might just fall asleep here tonight.
If this game goes any longer, I might need to get to the station to get my morning sports out. There's the 0-2 to Jackson. That one catches the outside corner for strike 3, but the Zap adds some much welcomed insurance. They score 2 on a pass ball on the strikeout that got away from the first baseman. They lead 7-2 as we head to the top of the 8th here at Hyde Stadium.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers non-stop flights to Denver. Starting August 1st, book your destination at United.com. With United Mileage Plus, you can save more by earning miles when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. 1-hour flights to Denver and the world beyond. Avoid the crowds, avoid the drive, and enjoy free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. United Airlines in Pierre starting August 1st. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre.
We're good at making excuses for things we don't want to do.
I can't work late because my cat has a job interview.
Unfortunately, we're also good at making excuses for things we shouldn't do, like driving drunk.
There's nothing on the back roads but cows.
The truth is, there's no good reason to drink and drive. Not even if you stick to the back roads. If you drink, don't drive. No excuses. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, South Dakota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
If you're interested in becoming a valued sponsor of an Oahe Zap broadcast, you can contact us for more information at sports@dakotaradiogroup.com or call us at 605-224-8686.
Hey, Zap Baseball. We head to the top of the 8th inning as the Zap have stretched out their lead 7-2. Hello, everybody. We are so glad that you are still with us here late on a Monday night as we had the lightning, the rain delay, but it hasn't stopped the Zap offense. They lead 7-2, as I mentioned, on 10 hits. The Spuds with 5 hits and a pretty costly error as the sleep timer has gone off on the scoreboard. It is shut down.
I hope the lights don't go off.
Yeah.
I know they're set to go off at midnight. I hope we don't make it to midnight, but that is something to keep an eye out for. That is their auto set-off timer is midnight.
As this first pitch is chopped foul by Clausius. I'm having some fun. You know, if we're going to be at the ballpark late, we might as well let it take us to tomorrow morning.
Prime time baseball.
That is right. Monday night baseball here on River 92.7. Cody Clausius behind 0-1 to Hudson Ivy. as he fouls off the second pitch. He's quickly behind 0-2. And, Dylan, we were talking about both teams kind of running low on arms at the moment. The Zap are missing one of their arms, Esteban Baca, from the suspension from earlier game, and Kambalu, Martinez, and Hack all missing from the Spuds rotation as the pitch misses low from Ivy. And we were saying you're probably just going to try to ride Hudson Ivy out to the end of this ball game if you're the Zap, and hoping he can protect this lead. Wouldn't be the worst idea. He's been pitching outstanding. As the 1-2 pitch comes from Hudson Ivy, in there and just a bit outside. Man, the Zap dugout was hopping up and screaming. As the Spuds have an arm up and working in their dugout, so it might be the end of the line for Billingsley. 2-2 from Ivy, rifled into left field, coming on and diving and making the outstanding play is Tyler Hoffman. Megan is doing his best best Alex Jackson impression out there in left field, coming in and sliding and making a leaping catch, helping out his pitcher for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, and that was just an awesome play from Tyler Hoffman. We have seen a lot of great plays in the field from both teams since we got back from delay.
This one lifted foul.
Rucker had that diving play. We had Hank Harp almost make that one, and then that is an outstanding grab from Tyler Hoffman.
Yeah, so the wind not affecting these college players. They're actually might like the wind. As this one misses outside for ball one, they can add a couple plays to their highlight reel.
It's probably cooled it off a little bit too.
Sure has.
And I think if you ask these 60 or so players between the two teams, I think they'd play in a hurricane.
This is a strong rivalry as Hudson Ivy delivers a strong strike two. And that's kind of how rivalries form. Good teams that get in good battles. The Spuds had the Zaps number for the longest time. Here's the 1-2 from Ivy. Chop towards the shortstop, Gavin Frazier. And it's going to bounce off his chest, and he's not going to be able to make the play in time. One of those crazy hops that you get here on the Diamond to Hyde Stadium. And Frazier, kicking himself, knows that's a play that he should be making. It'll go down as an error for the Zap, their first of the ball game. But we'll see if Hudson Ivy can get another ground ball. Not really a double play candidate is Matt Marsick. This kid's got incredible speed.
Yeah, you'd have to have a do-it-yourself ball to the second baseman or shortstop to be able to turn two here.
First pitch to Marsick, missing just a bit outside for ball one. As this one is driven way out towards right. Jackson looking up into the night sky, and that wind certainly kept that one in the ballpark. That was a charge from Matt Marsick. We've seen him leave the park in this series, so we know he's got that power. But he just kind of got copped out by the wind. It just hit a wall and turned his driver into a 9-iron.
Yeah, and there's not a star in the sky, but that baseball could have passed as one.
That was a deep shot, but Jackson made the play in the first pitch to Sean Glatz. Is down and away for ball one. Ivy set quickly and delivers. This one sent foul over the Zap dugout. Saw Sean Glatz make a nice play out in left. There's been a lot of flashes of leather and a little bit of flash of flesh over there at shortstop by Hank Harp when he made that barehanded play that was called safe, but still can't take that away from him. That one misses outside, makes the count 2-1.
Yeah, we've given out honorary saves to closers. I'll give him an honorary out there for his highlight tape. That was just an impressive play.
Keep an eye out in the mail for the plaque, Hank Harp. Here's the 2-1 from Ivy. Swung on and missed for strike two. They're going to try to pick off the runner at first. It was a close play. Mason Lang, if he gets that throw down, they probably get Stone Vasic out at first.
Yeah, and that would have been capping off a great day for Mason Lang behind the plate. That was close. They almost had Vasic in a pickle there.
Yeah, the throw sailed on Lang just a bit. Vasic was getting a little bit too far off of first base. I'm sure for Will Iancone's liking, but he got back safely. That's all that matters for the Spuds. 2-2 count with 2 outs here to Glatz. Ivy delivers down low, and the count runs full. You got plenty of runs to work with if you're Hudson Ivy, thanks to the heads-up base running by the Zap. Long lead for Vasic at first. Payoff pitch runs in and hits Sean Glatz on the shoulder.
And he wore that one well.
Yeah, he sure did. Kind of spiked the bat. I think when you get hit by a pitch, you're welcome to do anything you like as a batter. You can bat flip it. Take as much time as you want to go down to first base, or you can sprint down. We've seen some players sprint down to first.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite is either when they take their time or they just sprint it. I think the sprinting is pretty funny, especially, I don't know, like a close game. Like coaches are always like, run it out, run it out, run it out.
Well, sometimes in a close game when you get hit by a pitch and you sprint down to first, it can hype up your dugout.
Yeah.
You know, they love to see it.
Gets the boys going.
You know, it gets the boys going. Might even see tarps off somewhere in the dugout. You never know what can happen on a hit by pitch. But, you know, you see guys sprint down. You never know once they get hit. Ooh, I hope he's okay. I hope he's not hurt. And then they sprint down and, you know, they're all right. We even saw in the Bison series a player get hit and fake charge the mound here at Hyde Stadium, which was funny because it's the sister organization of the Zap. Might not go over as well in this series.
And it helped because it was Mason Lang wearing that Bison jersey.
Right. So it was a Zap player and a Bison jersey, the sister organization. So I think everybody kind of understood the joke there. So Hudson Ivy with runners on first and second and 2 outs. We'll start off Andrew Witt with a ball inside. Quiet night at the moment at the ballpark after a loud storm rolled through. Ivy loops in a strike to even up the count at 1 apiece. Seven to 2 Zap lead, and Andrew Witt going to call time. Get some pine tar on the batting gloves. That breeze has not slowed down at all. Still blowing in from right as this one's skied high up on the infield, but the wind's going to push that back our direction. And almost getting over to me. I extended out as far as I could.
You needed that fishing net that Coach was talking about.
You know when they say to listen to your dad? When he tells you to get a fishing net to catch foul balls, that would have come in handy there.
Hey, we still got a handful of home games.
We sure do. Got a 3-game series coming up against the Fremont Moo after tomorrow's off day, which is quickly getting closer to today's off day. Here's the pitch from Ivy. That one line back our direction, up and over the broadcast booth. Glatz is doing his best to get us another foul ball. You weren't in the booth for yesterday's catch.
Please, Sean, come on, put one back our way.
You want to talk about getting the boys going. I think they were happy to hear me finally stop talking about that foul ball. This one's lined into center field. Underneath it is Curiel, and he squeezes the 3rd out. So Hudson Ivy continues his great work. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Zap looking for a little bit more insurance. They lead 7-2 in a must-win game here at Hyde Stadium.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Bottom of the 8th as the Zap have extended their lead out to 5. Here as we creep up on the 11 o'clock hour. And this crucial 4th and final game of this series for both teams. Zap, if they can hold on, they're going to take a half-game lead, put themselves into the driver's seat for the remainder of the season, and the Spuds are going back home to take on the Spearfish Sasquatch in a huge series for them as well. It'll be Vince Palizzi to lead things off, followed by Ty Farwell and Jared Pugrad, the 1-2-3, and hopefully more for the Zap here.
And he's back with the second walk-up song he used this year. He said he used it during that hot stretch, and he said he changed it like an idiot and he went cold, and that just kind of shows you how superstitious these players are.
And, well, it works on that swing. Driven out to right, but Marsick's going to trail over and make the catch. So 1 pitch, 1 out for the new pitcher for the Spuds and Dryden Cousins. So that'll bring up Ty Farwell. And I don't see any movement down in the Zap bullpen with a 5-run lead the way that Hudson Ivy's been pitching. Seems like they're going to try to save the arms and roll with him into the 9th.
Yeah, that means both teams' first reliever after this rain delay going longer than the starter pitching or pitch count wise.
Cousins' first pitch to Farwell is in there for strike 1.
Gladue went 47. Ivy's gone 64. Moreno went 53. Vollmer going 78. So some long relief outings for some of these guys.
Cousins set, delivers to Farwell. He chops that one over to short, takes a weird bounce, but Hank Harp deals with it beautifully and fires to first for the second out of the inning.
Man, he's got a rocket on him.
Not only we saw the glove there, we saw the bare hand, and it's just kind of an all-around great shortstop.
Yeah, that one took a bit of a weird hop, too, and still didn't really phase him there. It's been a very good day in defense for Hank Harp.
Yeah, we saw a weird hop kind of catch and handcuff Gavin Frazier over at short the last inning. Pugrad with 2 outs will watch a ball skip across the left-handed batter's box for ball 1. Wyatt Gladue was the Zap starter today. He's over cheering Pugrad on from the retaining wall as Pugrad takes ball 2 high.
And talk about unfortunate, man. Wyatt Gladue, the victim of both lightning delays, and he was pitching just great today.
He was rolling.
1 earned, and he was just, the pitch count was low. He was setting himself up for a great start.
2-0 to Pugrad, misses outside for ball 3. And you kind of felt like there was a good start coming out of Wyatt Gladue today. Talked to him before the game, and he just seemed like it was another day at the ballpark. It's kind of the mentality you have to have in these high-leverage games.
Yeah, and then through 4 innings, he only gives up 3 base runners. And, I mean, just what a day there for Wyatt Gladue.
Zap needed it, and they got it out of starter Wyatt Gladue. 3-0 pitch to Pugrad. In there for ball 4. So that one misses a little bit low. Pugrad draws a 4-pitch walk with 2 outs, and that'll bring up Quinn Ludvigsen. Brecken Life, the bat boy, gathering all of the discarded gear from Jared Pugrad and making his way back to the dugout. I know who is up past their bedtime. That's 8-year-old bat boy, Brecken Life.
They probably got him hopped up on some slushies right now.
Well, I'd hope so.
He's getting his money's worth on his bat boy tenure.
Doing a great job. Here's the first pitch to Ludvigsen. He drives that one into left field. Tracking over towards the wall is Sean Glatz. He'll look up into the sky and make the catch for the 3rd out. So we head to the top of the 9th inning. Zap 3 outs away from hopping back into first place and in the driver's seat for this playoff push. We'll be right back with the hopefully final frame here at Hyde Stadium.
The summer is here, and you know what that means. The Oahe Zap are back, and we at DRG Media Group are bringing you coverage of every Zap home game all summer long. You can hear all the home Zap games on River 92.7, or you can watch them live on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page. The Zap are offering you fans something new every single night. So get out to Hyde Stadium for some Zap baseball this summer. Purchase your tickets on oahezap.com or buy them at the box office. If you can't make it to the game, we've got you covered on River 92.7 Oahe Zap Baseball, brought to you by DRG Media Group.
Hudson Ivy takes the bump here for the Zap in the top of the 9th, who leads 7-2. Hello, everybody. Justin Cowart alongside Dylan Beach and producer-director extraordinaire Eli Lewis. So happy you're all still with us here on this Monday night. As we got some you're a true Zap or Spuds fan if you've stuck around this long.
And it's going towards that 10 o'clock hour in Casper time, too. So they got some real Spudsiacs or whatever their super fans are called. We came up with Zapaholics for our guys. We don't know what their super fans are called.
I'm sure they've got a name for themselves. They're diehard fans.
And Hudson Ivy coming into tonight, his longest relief outing was 2 innings. If he finishes this game, he'll pitch 5.
So more than double, if my math serves me correctly, at 11 o'clock on a Monday night. Ivy still getting loose out there.
Yeah, and since he took that long break when he was kind of questioning if he was going to come back for the year, he's only thrown 13 total innings on the year. He'll be up to 18 after tonight. He's getting his money's worth of the ballpark.
And with these innings, certainly earning himself some more in the future, as he has shut down the Spuds. The only 2 runs from the Spuds came in the 4th and the 5th inning. So Ivy covering his face with the glove, now coming set, and delivers a first pitch rocket shot down the left field line by Cade Queen. Sliding stop over there by Tyler Hoffman in left.
That was a great play to keep that one as a single.
It sure was. Cade Queen had double on his mind, and it sure looked like 2 off the bat, but Tyler Hoffman with some speed over there to cut that one off before it got to the corner.
And that one took a wicked hop just over the glove of Farwell. He looked like he had played it pretty well to keep it maybe batted down in the infield, but all around a good effort there from Tyler Hoffman, sliding in and firing a bullet back to the infield.
So runner on first, the leadoff runner for the Spuds, exactly what they need if they're going to try to make a comeback here in the 9th. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. Ivy comes set and delivers. This one lifted high, that breeze pushing it as it makes its way down the left field line and curling over the light pole and out of play.
One of the Spuds players is even enjoying those comfy chairbacks by the dugout. He's going to grab the foul ball.
I believe that's Matt Marsick who had taken a seat, and now he's going to go try to get his first slushy. You think he'll take the Zap trading card too? Here's the 1-1 from Ivy. That one softly hit into center fielding and a drop down. Just off the end of the bat for Trent Rucker as he reached out, slapped it, and dropped it right in front of a charging Emiliano Curiel. So now the Spuds have him on first and second with nobody out, and the top of the lineup coming up.
Yeah, and Brady Glenn was kind of sitting on deck out there in the bullpen, ready to get going, and now he's finally up stretching again. You're going to try to ride Ivy out as long as you can, but after 2 back-to-back hits, you kind of got to get someone in motion.
Hank Harp takes a first pitch strike on the outside corner. Yeah, the Zap would love to keep that arm down there in the bullpen.
And if you could only use him for an out or two, if he could get under that required pitch count, he could still probably pitch for that Fremont game with a day off of rest.
Harp fouls that one off, and he's quickly behind 0-2.
The league making sure that teams don't overuse their arms, trying to prioritize the health of these young athletes. It's a great rule, but it has kind of put some teams into some handcuffs with arms.
0-2 from Ivy, up high for ball 1. And yeah, that's the big picture to remember. These kids are college players. They join this league to play competitive baseball over the summer, stay sharp, possibly use some tape to elevate and maybe jump to a bigger college. Here's the 1-2 from Ivy off the neck of the bat. Jumping out of the way is the Spuds' first base coach. So it'll stay 1-2. Zap middle infield shading towards second base, hoping to turn 2. Situation you'll certainly trade outs for runs here. As that one catches the outside corner and Hank Harp goes down looking on strike 3. Hudson Ivy paints that outside corner, and Harp could only shake his head as he heads back to the dugout. So 2 outs away are the Zap as Caden Wilcox comes in. First pitch to Wilcox, a big swing and a miss for strike 1. Got the Boys and Girls Club lit up out there in left field. We'll have Steve Steele join the broadcast on Thursday to talk about Stanley County's Golf for Gold, as that one's fouled off for strike 2. Steve Steele and I and a couple others will be golfing 108 holes in 1 day, raising money for Stanley County Gold. And we'll even get to stick around the ballpark a little bit after this one, throw some tennis balls down on the field thanks to Alex Sheets. Somebody had to throw them.
We might have to run down on the field, have a quick post game so we can have a fighting chance. There's not going to be a lot of tennis balls thrown tonight, Justin.
Yeah, we will have a good chance. It's tough out of this broadcast booth. We don't have a great angle, and well, we don't have great arms. I got dinner waiting for me at home, believe it or not. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one misses outside for ball 2. As much fun as throwing these tennis balls are, I've got some good things waiting for me back at the homestead.
Hey, I'll throw them for you.
You are more than welcome to. 2-2 pitch coming from Ivy. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and the Zapper 1 out away from hopping back out in front to first place in the ILB.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having Coach back in the broadcast booth, Justin. I think there's going to be some Zap players joining you guys out in the 100 holes of golf. Yeah. I'm going to ask the owner if I can maybe get in on this action.
Jamie Habiger and Devin Skelton, 2 of those guys that'll be joining us.
I'm going to see if I might be able to get on this action. That's still in my time, state, and pier.
As the first pitch to Cody Clausius misses high for ball 1. Well, you'll get to know every nook and cranny of the Dunes Golf Course if you join us for 108 holes in a day.
It's a good thing I haven't played it yet.
That one misses outside for ball 2. Dunes Golf Country Club quality at public course prices. We're going to have ourselves a day at the Dunes. Ivy behind 2-0 with 2 runners on and 2 outs. That one catches the corner for strike 1. Ivy trying to retire the side and send the Zap home victorious. Here's the 2-1. Rip towards the shortstop, Frazier. What a stab! Up throwing, and just off the bag came Quinn Ludvigsen. Man, what a flash of leather over there from Gavin Frazier. Cody Clausius gets the base hit and loads the bases, but Gavin Frazier with an unbelievable diving stab to keep that one in the infield. I thought there was no way he was going to get to that ball.
Wow. That's just unbelievable. I don't know how he got a glove on that. I mean, that one saved a run for sure, and he doesn't get the out, but that one's certainly keeping that runner put on third.
If the long branch is open, Ivy needs to get Gavin Frazier something cold to drink, because he saved the ERA, at least for now, with that one. Swing and a foul on the first pitch from Stone Vasic, who falls behind 0-1. Time for Ivy to lock in and get this final out. 0-1 pitch, just off the plate for ball one. And now this is where those two insurance runs come in so huge for the Zap. Without those two, one swing could give the Spuds the lead. But instead of a 3-run lead, it's a 5-run lead for the Zap here, leading 7-2. As Vasic rips that one into the gap in left center. That'll clear the bases. Vasic heading for second. Getting to it is Curiel. Vasic's going to stop right there. And just like that, as we mentioned, those big insurance runs coming in to help out the Zap here. And now Jamie Habiger's got a decision to make, as the tying run is at the plate and a home run threat in Matt Marsick.
And the wind's died down a little bit too, and that last one he swung on would have likely got out with the wind we got right now.
So Matt Marsick, as we know, a home run candidate. He left the ballpark earlier in the series, almost did so earlier in this game, but the wind was howling so hard out of right field that it kind of created a wall that knocked the ball down. So Stone Vasic makes it a 2-run ball game. Zap's still in front, 7-5. Ivy's first pitch to Marsick is high for ball one.
Yeah, and it's an interesting decision because Glenn would set up that lefty-lefty matchup, but ride out your guy in Hudson Ivy, see if he can settle back in here.
Jamie Habiger and Devin Skelton very close to that exit of the dugout as Ivy paints the inside corner for strike one. Count even at 1 apiece. Stone Vasic on second base. 2 outs. Zap 1 out away from getting the win. Ivy comes set and delivers, and Marsick bloops one out into right. Jackson backing up at the warning track. He has got it for the 3rd out, and the Zap win it. Scary one off the bat. Matt Marsick got close, but that win helped keep it in the ballpark, and the Zap celebrate a 7-5 win. They hop back into first place, and they send the Spuds back to Casper. And the Spuds are going to have to just win and hope the Fremont Moo can do some damage to the Zap. Zap split the series. They win this one here 7-5 on a marathon night, as just over the 11 o'clock hour we go, but it's just fine as the Zap take the win, and we will recap it all in the post-game show after this short break on River 92.7.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash, and hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be, and trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com, just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Zap win it 7-5, and they split the series, an ever so important split with the Casper Spuds. And the Spuds will have to hop on the coach bus and take a long trip back to Casper, as this one was a long one, but the Zap come out on top victorious. And I welcome Dylan Beach back onto the headset. I think the thing everybody wants to know, did you land any tennis balls on any of the good sponsors down there?
I don't think I did. I got hit a couple of times from an unknown source. That one looks good, Justin.
Sidearm worked. But Zap win it 7-5 after the long lightning and rain delay. Kind of kept things tied up for us a little bit. Zap scored 1 run in the bottom of the first inning, and then the offenses went silent as both Moreno and Gladue settled in nicely. The Spuds would answer with 2 runs. They scored 1 in the top of the 4th, 1 in the top of the 5th, but the Zap had runs for answers in the bottom of the 4th, scoring 1, and 3 in the bottom of the 4th. The 2 biggest runs of the ball game, it seemed, came in the bottom half of the 7th inning when the Zap scored 2. They got those 2 insurance runs after a strikeout of Tyler Hoffman and a throw down to first went errant, as 2 runners for the Zap would come in and score. And those are big because the Spuds answered with 3 in the top of the 9th, but couldn't get any more than that. Zap win it 7-5, and Dylan, huge series split for the Zap.
Yeah, and we were talking about Tyler Hoffman wanting a big moment, and I think he would have rather had the hit, but still providing a big moment. He reached second on that. Just great base running from the Zap, and this was just a treat of a series, Justin.
It sure was. This series had just about everything in it. So the Zap jump back into first base in the playoff push, as they just simply need to keep winning, and they should find their way in. They'll definitely be keeping an eye on the Casper Spuds as their series continue throughout the season, but the Zap get the win here today, 7-5. Zap will be off tomorrow. They welcome in the Fremont Moo for 3 games coming in. That series will begin on Wednesday night with a first pitch set for 6:05. That's also a Bolt Buddies afternoon, so all the kids can get down and get to meet the Zap, get some autographs, and have a good time with their favorite Zap players. So make sure you get involved in Bolt Buddies, but we want to see a big crowd out here at Hyde Stadium on Wednesday night. They've got a Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday game, and the Zap will go on the road to Spearfish for 2, Fremont for 2, before getting 3 days off and coming back home to take on Hastings in the final 2 home games of the series. So we will be back on Wednesday night with coverage beginning at 5:55 here on River 92.7. First pitch set for 6:05, but we don't want anybody listening. We want everybody here to pack the Hyde and root on this Zap Ball Club as they continue to make that push for the postseason here at Hyde Stadium. For Eli Lewis, our director and producer extraordinaire, for Dylan Beach, my partner in crime, I'm Justin Coward, saying so long on this late Monday night. We'll be back on Wednesday evening with coverage beginning at 5:55 right here on River 92.7. Have a great evening, everybody. Enjoy the off day. We'll see you right here on Wednesday night.
This broadcast of Oahe Zap Baseball was brought to you by DRG Media Group and its sponsors. The next home Zap game will be broadcast right here on River 92.7 and drgnews.com. Thanks for tuning in.